Hi, and welcome to Jackie's Art Journey and my first official video with my voice in it. In this video, I am going to make a free-form resin sculpture vase. I got this idea from Louise Singleton. I will link her channel below. She does a lot of wonderful vases. I used dollar store freezer bags underneath my sculpture, which worked great, except for they had little creases in them and it didn't want to lay flat for the resin to flow smoothly. So I found it was collecting in some areas and I kept trying to pull it flat and it just didn't want to go. The outer edge is stones, crystals, and rhinestones. Unfortunately, that didn't stop my resin from running outside of the edges. I added alcohol inks in gold, copper, white, and black. Just kind of create a metallic abstract look. This is going to be the outer piece of the vase. As you can see there, all my resin is running outside the edge. So as it's thickening up, I just keep shoveling it back in. My dog Percy is trying to say hi because he's not too happy that I'm not paying attention to him. As I said, make sure your table is level, and I tried to accomplish this after the fact with some cardboard, some thin coaster bottoms, whatever I could to try and get the flow to be even so it wouldn't all gather in one spot. I decided it didn't look quite metallic enough, so I added some more copper. And be careful, you can really overdo it with the colors and they just become a muddy mess, is what I discovered. So I left that for about 6 hours. You want it to be moldable, but not sliding anywhere on the plastic anymore. The other thing I wanted to mention was using a heat gun on the freezer bags was kind of tricky because I was worried about melting it underneath. What Louise uses is cellophane plastic wrapping paper, like what you would find around a gift basket. I've yet to find a good source for that isn't super expensive, but I'm going to keep looking. Anyways, I put the bendable piece over the bottom of an upside down vase so I could get the right shape. Kind of manipulated the sides so it had the creases where I wanted them and left that overnight so that it would pretty much harden up as much as possible. You want to make sure your resin is a good amount set up, otherwise once you mold it like that, it's all going to keep running down towards the ground. So on to the second level. I used ArtWorks Resin, gold shimmer, I think. I didn't pay attention to what it said. I wanted a really subtle look for this inside layer since I added so much color to the outside layer. Oh, here I go. I like to multitask or I get distracted easy. So I'm taking the plastic out, which came out really nice and easily, trimmed off the pieces where the resin ran a little bit. Note, probably good to not do this on your clean plastic where you're going to pour your next layer. But that's me. Anyways, I wanted my next piece to be thin with high sides to just so they would be high on the places where the other vase wasn't. And I want to make sure that this is going to fit inside my other piece. I added a little bit of gold and copper alcohol inks and a little bit of pearl. Oh, here I go, adding copper as well. I just can't stop. You can see the plastic shrinking when I'm like minimally heat gunning it. So I probably will only get one use out of each of these freezer bags, but they were cheap, so they work for now. Here we go, creating a design. This time I decided to put my rhinestones on after the the resin had started to kind of spread a little bit, hoping that I wouldn't get so much of the resin running underneath where I wanted my edge to be. Next time, I definitely will use smaller size rhinestones because I think they would give a more subtle blingy look, but this is what I had, so use what you have. Once again, left it about 6 hours or until it wasn't sticky to the touch. I lifted it up, got a smaller vase, just making sure it's gonna set on there properly. Now I go back and I just want to test that that vase is going to fit inside my other piece, which I probably should have done before, but what the heck. So I taped down some pieces just because when you're kind of pulling some sides around, it pulls the other sides. Here it is, the finished piece. You can see I put the lighter gold piece inside the outer one. I kind of left it a bit too long to be able to mold it to fit properly, but I'm super happy with how it turned out for my first attempt. Anywho, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.